Subscribe to our channel and stay updated with all our latest tutorials. Don't miss out, hit subscribe now. In the last video, we made a grid table for our headcount page, and in this video, we will make a Dropbox above it. And with that Dropbox, we can filter our grid table. Alright, let's dive into how we're going to add a Dropbox widget above our grid table to make filtering super smooth. First off, we'll open up our development environment, the Cedar Interface Builder. Right below the first grid row on our headcount page, we're going to introduce another grid row, cleverly named Grid Row 2. Inside this new row, we'll create a grid cell specifically for our Dropbox widget. We'll call this widget Grid Row 2, Cell 1 Dropbox. For the skin, I've got something perfect on our GitHub. I'll just copy and paste the CS right in. Now for the fun part, we're going to write some JavaScript for our Dropbox to fill it up with data. Initially, we'll fill it with static data, just to get things rolling. In a later video, I'll show how to fill the Dropbox with dynamic data coming from an MDX. We'll set it up with the years 2024, 2025, and 2026. In our initialization function, we'll set up these options, marking 2024 as the default selected value. This makes sure our users always see data when they load the page for the first time. Next up, we'll handle the user interaction. We need to write the choose event, which is crucial because it triggers the refresh of our grid table based on the selected year from the Dropbox. For this, we'll use an API call to refresh our grid table. Just below that, we'll adjust the system value to match the Dropbox's selected value using some utility functions. In the utils set widget value call, the first value is always the system value. After that, I use the v function with the widget ID of the Dropbox. This will set the system value to the value selected in the Dropbox. In the body of our grid table configuration, especially where the data fetch happens, we need to introduce a dynamically changing parameter named year. This will link to the system value we set from the Dropbox, ensuring our MDX query fetches the right data for the selected year. In the MDX configuration, where we define the period, we need to include our dynamic parameter using a $year syntax to link it directly to our JavaScript setup. This ties everything together neatly. We always have to use a $sign when it is a dynamically changing element. We'll give it the same name as in the JavaScript part. On last thing, I have to set the widget value to 2024 in order to always set the system value to 2024 when I open the page. Now deploy. Almost missed a step there. I had added the CSS for the Dropbox, but forgot to link the skin name in the JavaScript part. It's crucial to make sure the skin name matches and the widget ID is used correctly. After these adjustments, we're ready to hit deploy, and let's see this in action. Once deployed, I head over to the application, open up the headcount page, and you'll see the Dropbox sitting neatly above the grid table. When changing the year to 2025 or 2026, you can see the grid table refresh and display the data for the selected year. And there you have it. Filtering a grid table through a Dropbox is not only functional but also straightforward to maintain. Plus, as mentioned, you can always switch from static to dynamic data using MDX queries in future iterations. This setup makes your application flexible and robust, ready to handle any data you throw at it. Thanks for following along, and happy coding. In this video, we built on our previous session by adding a Dropbox widget above the grid table on our headcount page, enabling dynamic filtering of the data displayed. We started by setting up the Dropbox with static year options, 2024, 2025, and 2026, and integrated it into our grid table system through JavaScript to control data fetching based on the selected year. Next time, we'll explore adding a segmented control that will alter the appearance of the grid table, enhancing user interaction and visual engagement with the data. Stay tuned for more hands-on guidance and tips. Thanks for watching, and happy coding. Subscribe to our channel and stay updated with all our latest tutorials. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe now.